welcome to Who Put Netflix On, Season 4, Episode 47, where we watch Too Hot to Handle, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz. We got Rob.
Hello.
We got Brian.
Hey.
We got Noah.
Hey.
We got Annabeth.
Hey.
Harrison.
What's happening?
We got Max.
Hello.
And we got James.
Hey, what up?
And we got a full boat. This whole quarantine thing, no one else has anything better to do than be on this podcast.
This is it, man. This is it.
Yeah. So this is a Netflix joint. This is Netflix trying to get those love shows out there, and we keep watching them.
How long?
They love experiments.
They do love the experience, Brian. But how long have we been in Love Month? It's the month that will never end.
Well, to be fair, 2 episodes ago was about Tiger King. The episode before that was about some stupid Bush family.
Hey, there was a lot of loving going on in Tiger King. He had so many husbands.
That's fair. There was a lot of love discussion. And then before that was a Top Chef. Like,
Love of food. They just love that
this
food.
This is a very stereotypical love show, at least episode 1.
When are we
Harrison.
becoming Who Put the Love On?
Harrison, give me the show description.
On the shores of paradise, gorgeous singles meet and mingle. But there's a twist. To win a $100,000 grand prize, we'll have to give up sex. Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. That's a nice, tight description. Good job, Netflix.
Not a 3-paragraph, this is this season on kind of description like we get sometimes.
I like the marathon descriptions. You put some effort into your show description. You know,
No,
I don't
no.
think a short description means you didn't put any effort into it.
Netflix is mailing them in.
The soul
Look.
of wit, Rob.
You're in Netflix. You're not trying to read stuff. You're trying to watch a show. Tell me what the show's about in a couple sentences or less, or get on with it.
Yeah, so the show is very much, at least this first episode is essentially just the first episode of Love Island. It introduces all of the people, and they're like, I'm sexy, I want to bang everyone, and everyone wants to bang me, and then that's the end of the episode. Well, at least the end of this episode, they say that they can't have sex. But like, up until that point, it was very much like a Love Island, Bachelor in Paradise, kind of just generic, where, you know, banging hot, and they're hot.
Bang.
Right? They're banging hot.
They're banging hot and they're hot?
I do feel
they're
like
banging and hot.
Oh, okay.
They're nuts to nuts, banging hot.
Gotta be nuts to nuts. You know,
I feel like this crew on the show was a little bit more extreme in terms of how like they're just ready to get going than other shows. Like, I don't know how they did the casting on this or what their producer's show notes were before they revealed the twist, but they had this. Well, we'll get into details, but like they were really going right from the start. You know, in a way, I feel like was different than the average show.
Yeah, they definitely primed the pump. Like before they went in, or they gave like, it would be interesting to see the premise they gave to the contestants going in, because it was clearly like, we're pitching you as sexual animals. Like, go get it, Tiger.
it definitely feels like they found the 10 sluttiest people on Earth.
I wouldn't call them slutty.
Brado.
I would
What?
just say they're like ready to get down.
What world are these not slutty people?
I don't like.
Those are synonyms.
It has like a bad connotation of like they're just letting anyone come in. We're like, these folks were like, wow, that looks good. Let me go get some of that. 2 different things.
So you're saying that these
Two
people
totally
aren't,
different things.
these people aren't slutty because they have standards? That's what you're telling
Yeah.
me?
100%.
Noah is saying since they're good sluts, they're not sluts.
No. You're not just letting anyone come in the house. You're just saying, look, if you meet the standard, come on in. Big difference.
No, I mean, so we don't know that, Noah. You're just making that conjecture. They're only surrounded by hot people. They didn't bring anyone in that was like not so attractive and like be like, oh, I don't want to bang that because he's like not attractive. We don't know.
I mean, you should.
hot people, I have a hot take. Nobody cares. Let's move on.
There's one dude on the show that said he's had sex with like 1,000 people or something. So
He claimed.
Most of the guys on the show are such creeps.
I would probably say the guys are probably like highest level more slutty than the girls are.
Sure, yeah. But like 3 of them are talking like, yeah, I'm the alpha male, like some straight up pickup artist shit.
Oh yeah. Well, we get into that. I think I wrote down all the people and where they're from. I think that's the best way to go through the minutia of this episode because it's essentially just introing all the people.
Can we not call them their names and just call them where they're from? Except for the Londoners, because there's like 5.
We could.
I
give their
agree
names
with Max.
and you could call
Their
them whoever
names
you want, Max.
are totally irrelevant.
Well, before we say the names, like I like that this show has a very international vibe to the casting. Like I think that's a solid move of just mixing up people from different places. You know, apologies to Noah. Find the sluttiest people in all the different countries and get them all together.
Like, I want to know what the casting call for this show was. Like, how do you get people from all these countries? And is it the producers from Love Island that's doing this? Because it's got a very Love Island feel. Noah's giving me the no signal.
It is not. ITV produced Too Hot to Handle. Fremantle Media is behind Love Island.
I don't know what else they've done.
They're both pretty big producers, just 2 different companies.
Okay. All right. So our first contestant that shows up is Chloe from Essex, UK. She's addicted to social media was the first thing that she was introduced with, and then she kind of disappeared from the show.
She makes out with someone.
Does she?
Yeah, during the blindfold segment.
Oh, well, everyone made out during the blindfold segment.
Her main personality trait is the same as everybody's personality trait, which is she horny.
Then we got Sharon. He's from New Jersey. He signed up for Christian Mingle, and he was flirting with Rhonda, which we'll get into Rhonda. But there's some pretty heavy flirting before the whole sex ban. So we'll see how that goes going forward.
Should we cue it up that they're introing the people and they reference it about every 2 minutes that there's 12 hours until they're going to announce and enact the sex ban. And so the narrator, we'll have to get into the narrator, just like pointing out every time they say something really slutty, like they don't know what's coming. And so that's a recurring theme throughout this episode.
Do you think it was legitimate 12 hours? Or
Like they
just,
came in during the day, and then it was definitely night when they made the announcement. So it's plausible.
There's not
Like-
really any reason not to believe the 12-hour timeline here.
What do you mean?
They
There's
show
a reason
up,
for me to not believe it.
It's daytime and there's drinks, and then skip ahead. There's some people making out, getting ready to go at it, and then Lana boots up, and then it's apparently midnight, which seems very believable because these people have been drinking all day and they're ready to hook up.
Oh, was it midnight? Did they say it was midnight?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
they said
I
several
guess
times
I'll
like, "Yep,
give-
tonight at midnight." Then the band goes in play.
Like I don't know if it was like 12 hours to the minute, but like it's close enough. Like it's definitely not like the next day or anything like that. Like this was in one day. It starts during the daytime. It's nighttime at the end. It's close enough either way.
We got to get back to the blindfold thing. I think that's important.
Oh, we'll definitely get back to the blindfold thing.
The next contestant that comes in is Haley. She's from Florida, and she has a tattoo on her back, but she doesn't know what the language of the tattoo is.
it is not even that she doesn't know what it says. She doesn't even know what language it says.
No. I think she... So, right after she says she doesn't know what language it is, she goes to her confessional, like saying some sorority bullshit, and I think that's what she thinks is tattooed on her back,
So
which I assume would be Latin.
She
But
didn't
wouldn't
seem to
know
imply
it's
that
Latin,
though.
because she doesn't. She seems real dumb.
Those were two separate. Yeah, those were two separate things.
I don't know.
She was
I-
like, "Yep,
that's-
I'm a Zeta sorority goer," blah blah whatever her chant was, and then she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what this tattoo is, no clue." And
she just said
real
she didn't know
dumb.
what the tattoo language was. She
Like,
doesn't not necessarily know what
She
she
doesn't
thinks it
know
means.
what direction north is.
Like I don't think the tattoo says a sorority related thing, but I do believe it's possible that she told the tattoo artist to put a certain phrase in a different language, and she knows the phrase but not the language. But I don't think we know what the phrase is.
It's probably gibberish. Like the dude could have wrote whatever. How would she know?
Chances are high it's gibberish.
Right.
We learn later that this girl doesn't know where Australia is.
Yeah.
And
Very
the narrator is very quick to imply that she is real dumb and doesn't know geography.
It's hard to tell sometimes with these shows how dumb these people really are, because producers can make it cut it any way they want, but she's not making it look good for her.
But there were so many smart, just brilliant moments with just anything witty.
Yeah. Our next contestant is David. He's from the UK, and he has hashtag love sex party in his intro. I think he kind of disappeared from the show too. Wasn't much to say. Anyone got any David minutia? No?
Was David the first one who tried to flirt with Rhonda?
I believe that was somebody else.
Is David the tall one?
No.
No.
There's two taller gentlemen.
Well, then
One
so
is a
there's-
white guy, one is a black guy. And yeah. I don't know which one's which.
So
what's
we've
the
got Harry as the next guy.
Oh, he's the tall one.
So
Harry,
we
yeah.
got he's from Queensland, Australia.
And he's got a weird haircut. Weird haircut, Australian Harry.
This is true.
He does have a weird haircut.
He is known for going to a bar and yelling "crikey," which is my terrible impersonation of it. And he says the women just flock to him. That's all he does.
I mean, so where do you think he lives? So he can't do that in Australia and have women flock to him. So he has to live like in the UK or in America somewhere.
I don't know, man.
Lives in LA.
Wherever they're pulling these people from.
Yo, Internet Corner, I got LA for $1.
And then we've got Francesca. She's from British Columbia, Canada. I have no minutia for Francesca.
Was she the one that got somebody to put suntan lotion on her butt?
No, that was wrong.
No,
Okay,
Rhonda.
sorry. They all blend together.
Yeah.
She's from British Columbia. She has over 340,000 as a taping social media followers. They did not classify which platform.
Yo, what's the current number?
I think it's probably cumulative. Like Twitter,
Right,
Instagram,
Oh,
Snap.
yeah. I'll go.
If you're gonna brag about that, like you got to brag about your cumulative number.
Yeah, but that's like overlap. Like it's kind of.
You just brag about the gram. The gram is all we care about.
I mean, obviously, the proper thing to do would be just brag about the gram, but
I think you brag about whatever the number is the biggest.
So Noah, what's the current number? I'm sure you've already looked it up.
I haven't looked it up yet. I'm
What?
on IMDb. I'm gonna get Harry's location, and then I'll find out Francesca's.
There's an internet queue going on.
Do we need
And
more
he's-
internet corners to paralyze this?
and he's playing with a dog right now.
Better
We're watching on Zoom.
It's really impressive.
waits for how many followers she has. Nobody cares.
It's true. She also kind of disappeared from the show. We have Matthew is our next contestant. He's from Colorado, and he looks kind of like Jesus. Everyone just calls him Jesus. The host calls him Jesus. A lot of he has a cross tattoo.
He is also the only one that shows up. So this house, which we should get into at some point a little bit more, is gorgeous. It's on the beach. It's obviously in a tropical location. And this guy is the only dude to show up not in a bikini or swim trunks. And he is wearing a beanie, like a long tee, and some weird pants, which I don't know the name of, but they're the ones that are really super baggy, but like they're like weird yoga pants of some kind. Does anyone know what those are? Somebody's got it.
Parachute?
They have like a crotch that is like almost to the ground, basically.
No, Brian got it. Parachute pants.
You can do yoga in parachute pants?
No, these aren't like the classic parachute pants.
All right, so we got an update on the winner. Francesca now has 1.4 million followers on Instagram.
Baby.
Wow.
She's making bank, which I'm sure was her plan. Good for her. Harry does live in LA, so James Conan with the Ringer,
Boom.
and Harry's also trying to cash in already by putting his catchphrases on the show on merch, so you can buy a boyfriend dick sweatshirt on his website.
I was gonna get to that when we got back to the campfire.
All right, white elephant gift idea.
I also got some Harry Internet Corner stuff that Harry was on the New Zealand version of Love Island and
Ooh.
won.
He won Love Island?
He won, what's it called? Heartbreak Island in 2018.
Is that a doppelganger we need to do?
I think it is. If we, as always with the international shows, if we figured out how to get Heartbreak Island, we should do it. The Harry season.
The issue is it's going to be the same show as this. So it's
It
like,
really is.
what's the point?
But they might actually be kissing on that show.
Maybe. Yeah, so Matthew, I've got some, he questions monogamy, and he wants to spread his seed to all continents and races. That was his like big intro.
Quite
You
the,
That's probably that's one of the creepiest things I heard.
He
Yeah,
also likes model looking girls.
You know, that model look. Skinny.
You know,
I'm pretty sure that was the quote.
he stands out. Like he's a very different persona than everyone else on the show. Everyone else is like looks like you can find him in a club.
Yeah.
He just is like, nah, bro. I'm just gonna get stoned on the mountain.
Well, there's a couple people that stand out. We've got Jesus, because he looks very different than the other four guys. There's two guys from like the UK and Australia that they're just pale white guys. And there's black guys with lots of muscles, and like
One
I
is
can't
tall,
tell
one
the
is
difference
short.
between the two white guys.
Oh, the
And
other two
then
white guys?
the
No
women
clue.
also kind of just don't stand out at all either. You got the one black woman, and then like some of the other women kind of stand out, some don't. Like, it's
Doesn't
gonna take
Sharon
time.
like say something about the women where like he rates them on a scale of from like vanilla bean to like some other food of some sort, chocolate something?
there was
Peanut butter? I
there was
forget
a
what it
whole
was.
coffee
Yeah.
or ice cream range that he went through with the
Oh
Palette.
yeah, cocoa butter was in the mix, right?
yeah.
Something like that.
Our next contestant was Rhonda. She's from Georgia, and this is the person that got the most airtime for episode 1. People were like going. She was sunbathing, and 2 contestants came out and flirted with her while she was doing so. One got much farther than the other. Sharon went out there second and got her to lay on top of him with pillows like on his crotch. It's a very interesting kind of situation. And then they made out a bit, you know, before the ban. This is the most action anyone's probably going to get the whole week. Maybe.
Francesca and Harry did some deeds.
Did some deeds.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything they want to talk about with Rhonda?
She's very proud of her butt. Very, very proud of it.
The one thing I want to discuss is that she's got Wolverine claws. Her nails are just so big. They're gross.
They're so scary. They play this blindfold game that we'll talk about, but like you have to guess like who is touching you. And I was like, man, they'll definitely know because her claws are just going to be clawing their face.
Well, no, it seemed like she was like dedicating a lot of effort to not touching their face.
It's horrible to watch.
Yeah, it's a very like I just can't stand them. It's a very big like turn off for me. I can't. Big nails are no go. Then we've got Nicole. She's from Cork, Ireland, and she's real slutty. That's all I got about her.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. Then we got Kells. He's from London. He's a big black gentleman. Lion King is his favorite movie, and he's the alpha. He does no chasing.
I'm the captain now.
I mean, Lion King is his favorite movie, and they showed his tattoo he has of a big lion's face with a crown on it. Which is really like, you see the tattoo, and he's like, Lion King is my favorite movie.
So, do you think it's a reference to the new Lion King or the old Lion King?
Oh, that must be a recent tattoo if it's new Lion King.
Right.
I don't think it's the new one. That would be weird.
Right.
I mean, this guy seems weird. But like, when do you think this was filmed? Maybe this was filmed before the new Lion King came out. We don't know.
It's true.
Let me go back to the corner.
But like, did he also say like this tattoo is how I see myself?
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
I don't
There's some
remember.
weird tattoos on this show. Did anybody else see the tattoo that Rhonda has on her arm that says Rhonda?
We saw it. And we're like, is that? I said like, does that say Rhonda? And I didn't pause it to like actually look at it hard enough to see what it actually says. But I'm glad you confirmed that it says
I think
Rhonda.
so. I was looking at it really hard too.
It's not a very good tattoo.
I almost thought it was too long to be Rhonda. Like the start looked like Rhonda, but it felt like it kept going. So I was wondering if it was more than just Rhonda. But I think it definitely has Rhonda at least as a part of it, which is very
Great.
strange thing to tattoo on yourself. I got to tattoo my own name on myself.
Hey, tweet at us if you know what that tattoo says.
There's another weird tattoo, or maybe this isn't weird. And
There's
maybe
lots of weird tattoos.
there are a lot of weird tattoos. The one guy who's flirting with Rhonda has a tattoo like on his bicep, but it's upside down to us. It would be right side up if he puts his arm up. Is that normal? Is that a thing?
Well, I think it's like normal when he like puts his arm up to flex.
Yeah, it's
right?
bicep up.
Well, no, like it would have to be like straight up because it was like a mountain scene. It would have to be all the way up for it to be normal.
This
Okay,
wasn't
so-
this wasn't the
Or is it
Wolfpack
like
tattoo.
Look at it when he
That's
looks
like,
down at his
is the
arm.
idea he got it? He's like, I want to look down at my arm and see it right side up. So you got to put it upside down for everyone else.
I think
Maybe.
Rob's onto it. All these people are clearly very selfish people, so there's no reason to think otherwise.
And Rhonda wants to be a
I don't
little
know.
jaguar in the tattoo.
No, a cheetah, baby cheetah.
Cheetah. Who was the guy with the Wolfpack tattoo? What was his name?
That was Sharon.
Sharon.
Okay. I thought it was the white guy who had the Wolfpack tattoo.
I don't think so.
Maybe they got matching tattoos.
Maybe. The next kind of person I think we should need to talk about is the host.
Ugh.
Okay, I have some
Barf.
internet corner on the host.
Okay, give it to me.
Used to be a dominatrix.
The
What?
host was a dominatrix.
Yep.
Well, I
Who
think
was the host? What's her name?
Some lady. I don't know.
Obviously, it's the lady.
That was the
So-
most useless.
Not maybe
That
after
was
ours,
just
it's
the
fine.
random.
let's dial
like,
it back a little bit. So this show does not have a sort of traditional host setup in that there is a narrator that to date we have not seen. Doesn't introduce her name. It's just this disembodied voice talking. And then there is an next level Amazon Alexa meets a lava lamp situation that is the thing that actually interacts with them and talks to the people.
Well, that's the next character I wanted to talk
So,
about.
I don't think there's a host. There's a narrator and there's Alexa, aka
Well, I just-
Lana.
The
but
narrator.
That
is the
they combine to be the host.
host. Okay.
If you never
Fine.
see her on screen, I don't think you get to be the host.
Is this narrator the same narrator as from The Circle?
It really seems like it, but no, she is not.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
host, compared to the Circle host, is very mean. Like, there's definitely some comments where I'm like, oh, that's a mean comment. And
There was a lot
sometimes
of
I find
snark in
it funny. So if I don't find it funny, it feels mean.
I mean, it's
So-
supposed to be very snarky and funny mean. So if it's not funny, it's supposed to be mean. Like, it's not accidentally mean.
So there's a lot of negging going on.
But that's a pickup artist move.
Is it nigging when they can't hear you, though?
I don't know. Well, you could watch it and be negged later.
I guess.
I got some quotes written down from our favorite narrator.
Yeah.
So at some point, somebody was like making out, and they were like, they're not even aware like an air freshener is going to cock block you later.
Yep.
And then
Good line.
at some point she said, "PP in your picnic."
Oh yeah.
Was aligned, I think, when Rhonda had a guy on, or was on top of a guy. So,
Does she have to look out for ants?
She was saying that when the virtual assistant tells them about the sex ban, that's going to ruin their parade, or in her words, pee-pee on their picnic.
thank you, Max. I didn't remember the exact.
Coming back from the corner, they taped this in March 2019, up and through April 2019.
So before the new Lion King.
yes,
So-
before the new Lion King.
So
OG Lion King
OG
confirmed.
Lion King reigns.
So maybe now the new Lion King's his favorite movie. And maybe it's been usurped. He got a different tattoo of a different lion with a crown.
Maybe, hot take, he hates all Lion Kings now because the new Lion King like ruined the old Lion King for him.
He only likes Will Smith Aladdin now.
So yeah, so the next thing we got to talk about is this Lana character, which
Mhm.
is the beefed up Alexa, which is just somebody talking. Maybe they're talking. It like talks so slow. I'm like so annoyed at it, and I wasn't even there.
It's not a real thing. It's just the fucking producers again. It's the same thing as The Circle and all this bullshit made up for TV technology that's not real at all. And I don't understand this need to insert a fake device in a world where these devices actually exist. Like, it's fine. Just put a person there. We don't need this.
No,
Well,
but-
this one seems like a budget thing.
yeah.
Like the circle, it's like part of the show, and it's like a mechanism to get things to happen in the show. And like in the show, it seems totally unnecessary, and the only reason could possibly be that they don't want to have a person.
Right,
I
they
don't
just
know
couldn't
if
get the
that's
narrator
only
to do it.
reason. It seems like
Why
an
would they-
aesthetic
Why would
thing.
they do it?
It would definitely be a better show with a host, but there's like, but what if an inanimate object hosted it?
So here's the thing. Let us sort of play out this alternate universe where the host is a person.
The host is Chris Harrison.
You're
The
saying
devil.
that this poor host has to be on site 24/7 and run into a room whenever anybody's banging and say, "Stop it." That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I
Max
think that
raises a
this
good
is
point.
definitely on purpose to be like, if you keep watching, they'll be like, the Alexa will wake up and be like, "Stop it," and
I thought
remind you.
Stop them points like the next day. I thought like Chris Harrison would roll in and be like, "You lose $1 million."
Maybe, but that's like maybe how it was pitched versus like how it actually went. I don't know. Like, there's an ideal version of this that you pitch, and then there's like, what you actually do are two different things.
I think it's just they're trying to really set up a Big Brother vibe, and you can argue whether it worked or not. But that's what they're trying to do with the fact that there's the host is in every room watching you at all times. I don't know.
Yeah,
it definitely seems like more of a like perfect house that's always watching you versus like a host that's just like kind of comes in and out, is not necessarily always watching you.
Yeah.
It's always a reminder.
I'll concede the argument that in this situation you need the robot thingy to have just, or like a speaker system to have the mechanism to insert yourself when things happen. Because a normal person to do that would just be weird. So I'll concede that one.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
Although it still is annoying and stupid.
It would be amazing if like one of the producers had to just kind of hop into the bedroom as soon as someone started banging and just be like, "Oh, that's $500."
Dude, they do that anyways on the challenge when somebody's about to punch somebody. What's the difference?
Well, like you could have Lana in every room and still have a host and be like, these things are in every room, and if something goes that's gonna go off, and so it's watching you, I'll see you tomorrow. And you know that it's a solvable problem to have the a personal intervention mechanism and a real host.
I got a better idea for you. You take the $100,000, you put it in a plexiglass thing in the middle of the room, in the middle of this whole house. And anytime any of these sexual things are happening, which we'll get into, you basically, spoiler, you lose money. There's $100,000 on the line. If any of these things happen, instead of having this dumb Lana robot, the money just starts draining out. Cash starts flying out the plexiglass tube.
What if the money caught on fire?
No, that's illegal, Rob.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Demolition Man?
No.
Yes.
It takes place in a like perfect future.
Perfect.
Perfect. The 3 seashells, those are perfect.
Anytime you like curse or say fuck, a little like printer on the wall says like, "Brap, you are charged $250," and somebody from the past starts cursing and cursing to get more toilet paper because there's no toilet paper.
I take it back. After you described it, I have seen that movie.
I like that Max's version of perfection is there's only Taco Bell restaurants.
Utopia is the word.
And there's no spicy food.
Dude, I live for spicy food.
Yeah, well, you won't when you're in Demolition Man. So now I forgot my train of thought. Oh,
Man.
Is it time to get to the blindfold competition, or is
Yeah,
there
sure.
more
We
steps
can-
to get to first?
we go through the blindfold competition. So the only activity in this whole episode was they do this blindfold game where one person would put a blindfold on and stand in a semicircle around everyone else, and then somebody would get up and do something sexual to them or do something to them and then sit back down, and they had to guess who did it. It got pretty raunchy really quickly, at least from what we could
Describe
tell.
what something sexual is?
P and V.
Chris, what are you doing?
There's a lot more like making out, a lot of touching.
Yeah, a lot of heavy tongue action, like flip floppy tongues, on camera.
There are some aggressive tongues throughout the episode, I would say.
I've been doing
The-
it the whole time.
Well, hopefully you don't get used to it because there's going to be no more aggressive tongues the rest of the 7 extra episodes.
Well, we don't know that.
I
Maybe
don't
they're going to
know.
get fined.
There's
But
going to be
if
some
you
findings.
decide that you're gonna kiss, it's gonna be a super aggressive kiss. Like they're really gonna milk it.
I don't know. There's going to be all varying degrees, as we saw in the this season on outro.
Do you
So-
lose more money based on how long the kiss was
I hope so.
or how passionate the kiss is?
Instead, you lose.
Any kind of a sense of like the breakdown of the fines per act? Like, do we have any kind of?
It seems small.
We have to watch a little bit more. Like, what happens when somebody has an infraction? Like, do they get fined? Like, what happens?
They
didn't
just
get
like
there yet.
Lana comes in and says, "Hey, somebody broke the rules. You lost this much money." That's whatever. That's all that happens.
Gotcha.
I would guess it's actually they never set a set table, and it's just kind of random whenever it happens. But we discussed we need to watch episode 2, and we decided against it. So we don't have these key parts of minutia to talk about.
I do have a little things because I watched the first 5 minutes of episode 2.
Oh, but it doesn't get into the fine schedule there, does it?
It doesn't get to the fines, but it does get into more about what the show's actually about and not just preventing them from having sex.
Well, one last
Which
thing
is
on the
kind of
blindfolds. One last thing on the blindfolds thing. So the narrator is some start comment of this is a perfectly normal thing to do with a group of people you just met, like they're insane. But how do you think this blindfold idea came up? The producers put them up to it, right? There's no way that they just came up with this idea.
Why would they have had blindfolds? They were nice blindfolds.
They definitely planned.
It was one blindfold, and I'd have to leave out of this group of 10 ridiculous people that I'm sure somebody brought some blindfolds. That's my
Well,
theory. I don't think this was producer led at all.
Wouldn't put it past them. That's
They did show that in the bedroom there were a lot of condoms there. So maybe they were just blindfolds in the room, and someone just found them and was like, "Oh, hey, we got to use this."
I like Rob's theory. That's a good theory.
all right. So we got a message about what the actual fines are. So we've got 3K for a kiss, 6K for BJ, or I guess oral. I hope that's more than just one unidirectional there. And then 20K for sex.
Ooh, that's good.
And you're telling me,
Nice.
wait, so there's a group of 10 people on the show, and what's are they gonna split the money? Does somebody get voted off? What's the deal?
I don't know. I just got a message. I don't know what to tell
Because
you.
you can't tell me there's gonna be some banging on the show. There's no way anybody's getting any money, so they might as well just say screw it and everybody bang everybody and just forget about the money.
That is the question I guess we could bring up. I have a question. Like 100K between 10 people isn't a lot of money.
No. They should
By the
just
time you
they
pay
should just
taxes
go
on
balls
that,
to
that's
the
like
wall,
almost nothing.
have 6 weeks of amazing fun in this house, but the producers would obviously never let this happen. But like that's what they should do. Just say screw it. We're gonna live in this awesome house for 8 weeks or whatever.
I think it's something people also didn't really understand that it was going to be split because there's like, oh, like what would you do with 100K? And like, well, you're not getting 100K.
Well, do we know it's going to be split, or are they going to start like is this going to go BIP and they're going to start kicking some people off and bringing some new people on, and there'll be a mix, and in the end there's going to be like 1 or 2 winners. Like we don't know the whole mechanism yet.
In episode 1 world, you don't know. You do not know.
The internet.
Well,
knows.
no, are you outside episode 1 world? Do you have news from the corner you're going to bring us?
When I was doing my cornering, you come across things. But, I'm just saying in our state of being in episode 1, we don't.
So you're just going to leave us at that?
Yeah, I don't want to drive the spoilers unless everyone's okay, like going deep in the hole.
How you win this game is not going to be us one.
Yeah.
So there are multiple winners. And there's actually new characters that come in too.
There's more people?
Yeah. So I'm not sure when it comes in, but yeah, there's like I forget the exact count, but it's probably like 10 winners or so.
Do they kick people off the show? That's my
10
main
winners
question.
split 100K.
Yeah, but also there were people eliminated, so I'm assuming then there were deductions somehow because they got eliminated.
Maybe if you have sex, you get kicked off. Like the group loses 20K and you're off the island.
I think it should be like a house vote to vote you off. It's like, oh man, you guys did what? Oh man, we're gonna vote you out of here now.
Some sort of Big Brother situation.
Uh-huh.
Which we've never actually done Big Brother.
I can't believe we haven't done Big Brother.
We did Celebrity Big Brother.
It is now an MTV feeder show for, the Who Put This On.
We gotta do the feeder month.
Feeder month. I could get into feeder month, Chris. Can we get out of Love Month? Anything to get out of Love Month.
2 episodes is not Love Month.
We've been in Love Month for the year. This whole season. Love season.
All 47 episodes.
We're going to run the numbers. We have the Excel sheet now.
I guess one thing we kind of touched on minutia-wise that we should probably get back to, like I want to make sure we talk about, is the Harry says that he has a boyfriend dick at some point. Like right before, right before the game they were playing. And it's not too big. It's not too small. It's the perfect size. He claims. So just so if you see it anywhere, if you want to buy that towel that Noah mentioned or mug, you now you got the context.
Chris, you're falling for this social media influencers thing. You're just promoting this stuff now.
Yeah. We'll include a link in our show notes. So
now there's a link. What are you doing?
If it's not too big and not too small, should that be called a Goldilocks?
I mean, there's probably a normal I don't what do you? A lot of words for it, but boyfriend dick, I guess, is one.
Yeah, how big do you think Goldilocks' dick was? Just to get it right.
Thanks, Noah. So, at the end of the episode, we get some of the faces of these people as they find out that they're on this sex island, but aren't allowed to have sex, and they're crushed. They're literally their whole world has fallen apart on them. People are crying, people don't believe it.
Well, they seem most shocked when the no self gratification comes down as the other part of this.
Yeah. Well, if you're making a show about not having sex, I guess it's part of the you have to have that.
Well, the part about that is that we got some minutia that the person who came up with this show actually got the idea from the Seinfeld episode.
Really?
Which is pretty
Good.
That's what
Yeah.
There's some stuff on the internet corner that says that. I don't know if that's actually 100% verified, but I'm going to choose to believe it.
That's amazing.
It's very believable. I was thinking that from the second I started watching the show. I'm like, okay, somebody saw Seinfeld. They just made it into a reality show now.
Well, this is the contest on steroids. You're literally surrounded by people that want to bang you.
Because in the Seinfeld episode, you could have sex, and they all failed, and that was why they had to get out of the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like the next level.
Yeah, Chris, this is about building deeper relationships.
So
How?
a minor minutia from the beginning of the second episode was that Harry said that this is a horror movie. This is like the scariest movie ever because he can't have sex for the next 3 weeks or a month or whatever it is. So that's like the level we're talking about here.
How do you audit that? I can get that you can make sure that two people aren't having sex together, but I feel like, are there cameras in the bathrooms that are like, and in the showers that are tracking
It's Big
like,
Brother.
everything going on?
There's
Like,
cameras everywhere.
and there's a producer watching all that to sort of see what's going on. Is this how this is working?
Yeah. There's definitely some kind of referee type figure who's just watching the showers, watching the bathroom.
I feel like it's a simple rule, like only one person allowed in the bathroom at once. But I guess that doesn't prevent
That
you
does-
from self-gratifying in
The
the bathroom.
self-gratifying really takes it to another level in terms of the kind of rules you have to put in place for that. Like,
I feel like that's a loose rule. Like if you're in the shower, I think you can get away with it. Just
Wait. It's not a loose rule. It's just like easy to break.
It is the rule. It's not loose at all. The rule's very clear.
I mean, it's the rule, and it's a rule that we were told. But then there's like, well, we can't monitor you in the shower. So wink, wink.
You don't know that.
I'm just telling you the not.
You really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like. I'm not going to say that they're going to show it, but it doesn't. I wouldn't put it past them to have cameras everywhere.
I just don't think that they're going to have cameras in the shower.
There are certainly reality shows that have cameras in the shower. I think the Challenge might have cameras in their showers. I don't know.
I don't think so. Name one reality show you know that has a camera in the shower.
I gotta feel like I've seen like bathroom shots on Big Brother. I mean, of course they don't show shots when people are, like on the toilet, but like they show people like putting their makeup on and doing whatever. So like they have the footage. They just they edit it or they blur shit out.
They definitely showed bathroom stuff on Temptation Island. I feel like there was definitely some bathroom stuff in there.
It's awesome.
maybe this is actually really common, and just they obviously don't show that stuff on TV, and so without these insights to the production, we don't know the details.
We need the production details.
We need one of us to go and have to sign the NDA and be like, okay, these are all the things you have to agree we're going to film you doing.
But if we sign an NDA, then we can't talk about it.
Well, not the NDA, the release that you agree to what they're doing to you. That's not an NDA. That's something else.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know where I was gonna go.
All right, I just got something from the Internet Corner. This is a TMZ headline that was sent to me. Netflix is too hot to handle contestants poo under surveillance, camera on at all times. So cannot confirm or deny. That's the message I received.
Cannot confirm.
No link.
Another minutia that I got from the beginning of episode 2 was it seems like they're gonna do like relationship counseling kind of exercises and like team building exercises that are like that's like the point of the show. It seems that they try to make the point of the show is that you're on some, quote unquote the retreat and you're going to try to build like better relationships instead of just one night stands and banging because they're hot and you're hot. Essentially, I guess is the theoretical point of the show, but is like clearly not the point of the show that we've seen.
Yeah, they briefly mentioned that of like you're on this show because you don't have meaningful enough relationships. You got to learn to have better relationships, which I guess that's a bigger through line throughout the whole season than just a weird throwaway line in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, it's definitely like a low key like addict rehab.
Yeah, a little bit. It seems like the initial like name for the show was called The Retreat because it kind of fits the theme much better than Too Hot to Handle. Like, the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, and at some point the assistant was like, "Welcome to the retreat," and I was like, "What?"
It was like, welcome to Too Hot to Handle. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well, they didn't say that for that reason.
I still don't know what that's supposed
But they
to
filmed
mean.
this in 2019, and they were going to call it The Retreat, and then sometime the marketing team got a hold of it, be like, the retreat's not going to work. We gotta improve the SEO on this thing, and be like, too hot to handle. There we go.
Well, I mean, all it takes
it-
is a quick A/B test on would you watch something called The Retreat or something called Too Hot to Handle.
They put it into the algorithm. The algorithm said Too Hot to Handle is the winner, and it is the #1 trending show on Netflix. So they're doing something right.
Yeah.
This is, yeah, their second #1 show in 3 weeks.
Yo, how many times are we gonna keep falling for this Netflix algorithm?
The rest of your life, James. The rest of your life.
All right, so here's a question. We all have a minor issue with the naming of the scheme of the show, or like they call it The Retreat on it. What if they called it Temptation Island?
Are you proposing a different host too, Max?
Some sort of Markle's Mark?
I mean, if you're gonna bring in somebody to host the show, it's got to be Mark L. Wahlberg. Like, he is the only one sadistic enough to pull this one off.
So, Harrison, I got a question for you. Who's a better host, Mr. TJ or Mr. Mark L. Wahlberg?
I mean, there's no question that TJ is a better host. Mark L. Wahlberg is a literal demon.
And a
Lives for his own pleasure and enjoyment.
All right, I think we're out of time for ratings, unless somebody has any other minutia they really want to get into.
I think that one interesting thing is that, like, it seemed like some of the people were more terrified about the fact that they were going to have to go through some kind of, like, program that was going to help them build deeper relationships with people than, like, not being able to have sex. Because there were, like, some of these people earlier on, like Jesus and somebody else were talking about, like, hey, do you think you could ever have, like, you know, like a long-term relationship with someone? And he's like, what do you mean, like 4 weeks?
No. The dude at first was, hey man, I can't imagine getting married. And the dude that asked the question was like, no, I'm not talking about marriage, yo. I'm asking you if you could see yourself with this person in, like, I don't know, like 4 weeks.
Yeah, and the other guy's like, nah.
His eyes glossed over and he couldn't even possibly fathom some kind of relationship going for kind of a month.
Well, Jesus is very non-monogamous.
Clearly.
I also like the beginning of this conversation. The other guy is like, hey man, I know you're a deep thinker just like me. What do you think about this?
Yeah, that guy introed himself as a deep thinker. I think he's like I'm a very deep thinker. I think about a lot of things.
Like, man,
Yeah,
I know
Jesus.
nothing slips past your mind.
His name is Matthew, and everyone called him Jesus.
From Colorado.
Yeah. Harrison, give me a rating.
Whew, boy. Wow, there's a lot to consider here. I can't believe that they assembled this cast. This cast is something else here for the show that they brought together. I think that, like, on cast alone, this is looking pretty good. I don't love this. I don't love the concept of, like, they've created the show around, like, you know, not being able to, like, have sex and, like, not being able to, like, you know, do whatever they want in this crazy reality show. I don't know, but I guess if you take that away, it's just Love Island. So, like, that's the entire reason why the show exists. I don't know. I think I'm gonna probably put this in the middle third. Like, I might watch, you know, another episode or two, see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely the main reason to keep doing it is the people are just, like, totally insane.
Annabeth, what do you got for me?
I'm going to say this is bottom of the middle because I think the people are intriguing, the premise is intriguing, but at the same time, it's kind of like a worse version of Are You the One or, like, Temptation Island, I kind of feel like. I feel like mostly it's kind of a worse version of Are You the One, where the premise is also we're going to take people who are, like, bad at relationships and make them, like, do this thing that, like, maybe gets them better. But Are You the One also has, like, a puzzle that everybody gets to solve. And this one is just like, you can't have sex. And, like, Alexa is going to yell at you. So bottom of the middle, it has some promise. I will probably watch another episode.
James, what do you got for me?
So here's the thing. This show reminds me a bit of a show we did a long time ago called Tool Academy. But here's the thing.
Ooh.
Tool Academy from season 1, episode 5 had some fun to it. And I hated every part of this show. This is bottom barrel absolute garbage. This is trash TV on steroids. I hate the people. They are so grossly beautiful, it'll make you barf. And they know it, and they flaunt it constantly, and they're all idiots. I don't like any part of it. It is in the bottom of the bottom. And right now, here's the news. It might be in the running for worst show of the season overall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, Max, what do you got?
This really works for me.
Is Max going polar opposite? Don't
Great
tell me,
transition.
Max.
For some reason, I love these stupid island shows, except for BIP, obviously. That's just garbage. Top third, bottom of the top. Sorry, James, I get it. I know you hate Love Month. This really does it for me. It satisfies that Temptation Island need for me. It's a alternate take on that.
Brian, what do you got?
I'm going to go top of the middle. Netflix really found a way to distribute softcore porn in mass quantities. and honestly, like, I just think that like Netflix is just going wild with like random romance ideas, and this one works a little bit better. I think it's going to be more fun. So I want to watch episode 2 at the very least. Might change after that though.
What do you got, Noah?
I really like the production of the show. It moved along. The casting is great. Like they have just really superb characters that fit the need of the show. That said, I think the show itself, like the premise of it, is just pretty dumb, and I think it's just going to get tired very quickly. So I'm not going to watch another episode, but because like the actual production of it is very high quality, the behind the staff, I'm putting it in the middle, solid middle.
Rob, what do you got for me?
So I've been a little bit conflicted about this, and I think I'm going to make a decision that I might look back and regret. I'm putting it in the top, and I'm trying to analyze. Like, I don't really like Are You the One, and I don't really like BIP, and I don't really like Love Island, and I'm like, why does this show was more amusing? I think it was just that, as Harrison was talking about, these contestants were just so ridiculous that it was less boring than the usual like intros. They're just kind of getting to know each other. They're just going way past what I was expecting to like an incredible degree that it really kind of captured my attention. And so I was feeling good about it. And so I'm going to put it in the top, and then, in 2 weeks, I might be like, what was I thinking? I'm an idiot. But there you go. That's my in the moment take.
All right. I'm going to go with middle third. I also don't feel like I have gotten enough of the show. Like, we've got this intro episode, which introed everyone, but I didn't get to see what it's like for them not to have any sex or anything. So, like, I don't know what that is going to be like and what the rest of the show is really going to feel like. So I can't put it in the top, and I don't think it's necessarily bad. So I'm not going to put it in the bottom. So I'm going to put it in the middle, and I'll reserve my right to change it if I watch more, which I might side TV this because this feels very side TV-ish. So maybe next week I'll have a better idea of where I would actually put it. But I think middle third's probably where it's going to stay. So we're going to go with middle third. In the updates realm, we've got our Top Chef Fantasy League. Harrison, I've got some bad news for you.
Not tell me. I know what this bad news is.
Jen is out, and so is Angelo. So you have a grand total of 4 points, and you will stay at 4 points.
Drop.
You're telling me there's a chance.
What about
There
Last
is no
Chance Kitchen?
chance.
Oh.
Jen is out of Last Chance Kitchen. You're done.
There's no chance is what I'm hearing.
You are guaranteed to be in last place.
Man.
There's no negative points. People can't go backwards.
No, you can't go backwards.
Maybe someone will throw an interception or something. I'm still holding out. We'll see.
No, can't go backwards. Max, Gregory won this week, one of your players. So you're moving up in the world. You are currently the winner with 16 points. You're the leader. Followed by Noah with 15 points.
Fuck you, Noah.
Man.
Mine has 12. I have 10. Beth has 9. And James has 7.
Not last.
Not last.
What about me? You didn't say my score.
You're in last.
I did. I said you had 4.
Forever 4.
Forever
AKA
4.
last place.
Forever.
Loser.
And I've actually been watching the show, and I find it pretty boring. It's very cookie cutter. I'm just like, well, you're cooking. You cooked something. It was good or bad. I don't really know because I can't taste it. And I can get a kind of a sense, but I don't know.
Chris, how are you doing in your other Top Chef fantasy league?
So my other one, I am winning, but I just lost Jen. So not gonna look great. I have Kevin left though, so got to root for Kevin. So Brian and I are conflicting because we both have Kevin in different fantasy leagues.
So Chris, are you watching the show simply to tally it up, or are you watching it because you're interested?
So initially I was doing it to like get the points, but then Wikipedia has like just a much easier way to look it up. So I just go to Wikipedia after I watch the show because it tells me who won Last Chance Kitchen, which fuck, I want to watch that. And then sometimes like the names go by super fast and I don't really know who the hell they are, so like it's just easier. So I don't know, I might just drop it and use Wikipedia. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels weird to like go look it up on Wikipedia. I know Noah has no qualms with that, but it feels weird.
We've been watching the Last Chance Kitchen stuff a little bit, and it's actually kind of interesting. Like, it seems like what they've been doing is like they make you like compete in your redemption round, like on the thing that you messed up on, basically. So it's like if you got out for like bad chicken, like you're gonna have to cook chicken again, like to be able to like earn your place, kind of thing. It's interesting.
Oh,
Kind of redeem yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like my issue with it is like I have a DVR and I click on watch Last Chance Kitchen or watch Top Chef or whatever. I'm like, well, how do I go watch like Last Chance Kitchen?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably on demand if you search for it, I think.
Yeah, I'm lazy. There's other stuff to watch. Rob, has there been an update for me?
Well, I got some kind of update. Is that last week, this episode was a recap episode of favorite performances and recap and clues. And credit to Hulu, who didn't show it as a regular new episode. And so I was like, wait, where's the new episode? And went, looked, and it was like categorized as a special episode, and so I didn't watch it. So no unmasking last week. So we'll see what happens.
Does that mean it's done? Like they don't have any new episodes left?
I was like, I didn't want to do too much searching because Masked Singer, you got to watch the spoilers. But I got a notification there's another new episode tonight. So I think they just are trying to stretch out that content when they don't have their usual production and sports run in. They got to fill the time with what they got. So they just put some more Masked Singer in there.
Makes sense. Anybody want to shout out anything else? I'll give a shout out to Better Call Saul. The last season just ended, or not. There's one more season left, but it is really good. It's starting to heat up a lot. Highly recommended. And Westworld's going on. We got 2 episodes left. I'm enjoying the season. It's different, which I guess is not necessarily not spoiling anything. People with their
People are doing earmuffs, Chris.
people doing earmuffs on the. I'm not gonna spoil it. So it's different from season 1 and 2. It's better than 2, I think, at this point. But we'll see how they land it at the end of the season. So I guess that's it for us this week. You can find us on Twitter at whoputthison. You can find us on facebook.com/whoputthison. You can ask questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time.
Season 1, episode 5 thing you mentioned, that Tool Academy viewing was totally my recommendation. I basically talked about it forever, and then I was like, hey guys, you guys gotta do it. And I've loved Tool Academy ever since college. Me and my friends used to get together and watch it live on like Tuesdays or Wednesdays whenever it was on. Yeah. Since no one seemed to care about spoilers earlier, then it's basically like BIP, where like if you were not getting into a relationship, that's how you get out of the show.
Oh.
That's kind of interesting because like I was just thinking like, hey, I would just be like, if I didn't make like a relationship on that first day, and then they announced you like get fined $6,000 if you kiss somebody or whatever, I just wouldn't be trying to make a relationship with anybody.
But it's not like you get fined. It's like the pool of money gets fined.
Exactly. So making out, banging actually doesn't get you kicked off the show at all. That just reduces the pool money.
For sure.
Right. And so those two things are kind of detached, which is nice.
No, I know, but I think that like if you aren't trying to have a relationship with anybody, then you will get kicked off just separately. So like if you're like avoiding like the sex temptation by just not trying to have a relationship, you're just gonna get off the show.
Yeah. So this basically is telling you have to make a relationship, but you can't do too much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, we didn't get into the whole you can cuddle thing, really.
No cuddling.
Well, that didn't really come up to episode 2, so.
Apparently, you can shower together.
What? Wait, touching? No touching.
That seems like a lot of touching.
It wasn't clear to me on that front, but showering together is within the rules, and they are being filmed.
I have
shower?
So they said you can't do anything sexual. Can you masturbate?
No.
They said that.
They were
That
very
was very clear, Max. There was
about Max.
no confusion about that.
Yeah.
Paying attention.
About it. I'm not.
BJ, I have a question for you. When they said no BJs, is it like, were they like, is it specifically BJs, or was it like no reciprocating, like no cunnilingus either?
Who said no BJs?
You said no BJs.
You
That
did.
was the fine for a BJ.
No, I said there's a fine for a BJ. So that fine, all the fine information that I know is because the show has happened. And people know what happened and what the fines were.
No.
It's not a rule book. It's more like, hey, this is what happened, so this is what we enforce.
So it could be like the further you go in, the higher the fines go.
No. I read through all the fine scores. I don't know what to tell you.
You said there was no rule book. Now you're telling me you read the rule book?
No, I'm telling you, I read the history of the show, and I can tell what happened with the kisses, and the number did not go high.
You spoiled yourself?
I warned the spoilers before talking about the fines.
But like you were on episode 3. I figured you were spoiling up to episode 3.
No.
He declared spoilers. It's fair game. I'm in VJ's corner.
No,
Spoil
that's
away.
fine. I don't really care. Like the amount I care about the show is very small.
No. There was not. Okay. Like, I basically read through all the fines for the season, and that's how I gave you the 3 things.
Okay.
I'm assuming if there was like
If there was cunnilingus, there would
Maybe
have been a fine.
also 16K or whatever or what's the number, 6K.
That seems small. Like a kiss is like half a BJ, like that. I don't know. It seems like a much bigger step.
And then it goes from 6K to 20K to have sex. Like it seems like the 6 number needs to be like 14-ish.
Yeah, the 3 to 6 seems like as long as you're going to do the 3, you might as well just go and get the 6.
Yeah, the numbers seem a little off.
But I guess if you do it both ways, then you're at 12.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, that must be how it works.
But it's like, so like the kiss, it would be like 1.5. Because you're both kissing, it's 3.
Yeah, I guess if you were like just kissing the mirror, it might be 1.5.
I don't know.
I
It's
guess
very
jerking off-
suspect.
Does that mean jerking off would be 10
I feel like jerking off would still be 6, right?
or 3? or 4. Like this, it's kind of confusing now.
What if we were the producers? What would we say they should be?
I would have said the blowjob should have been like closer to 14.
I think you really gotta like up these things.
The pool of money needs to be higher. Like it needs to be $1 million. Like what are we doing with 100K here?
The
Like,
100K just
no.
makes this show immediately not interesting. It's just like, oh, why does anybody care? Just
Yeah.
go for it. Again, just do
The
whatever.
100K definitely.
So
is
I
nothing.
don't know if you saw in the end of the first episode they say like next up on like, the next episode whatever. Basically, one of the people is just rich, and so they're like, "Fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna lose other people money."
Right. Also, like, again, it's 100K across 10 people, so it's 10K, and it's for like what 2 months of your time. Like, not a ton of money. Are they also on top of the bonus part? Are they still getting paid the normal like reality TV show like stipend or whatever it is?
Everyone on these shows gets paid a per episode fee.
So
Whether
they
they get
really have no
paid,
reason to care then. You're
like,
getting paid.
Anything
getting a vacation.
reasonable, it's probably could be
I-
$1,000,
two
could be
months.
like $100.
I have to imagine this whole show is like within a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about a month. Like they said, it started in March and ended in April. So
Yeah, within a month, and then like the 100K is the max prize money, right? Like they're losing money in the process.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they're
And-
never getting an opportunity to win any back, right?
Well,
Like
do we
they're
know
only
that?
losing.
I don't know. On the Wikipedia, they end at 75K.
Hmm.
I know the answer if you can win back or not. If you guys want to know, again.
Yeah, no, go for it. Whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
Noah already said they get 75 total, so.
Yeah,
but
but
yeah.
but they go lower and then come back up.
Ah, okay. So they do. Got it.
And there's like,
How do they get points? Like they,
By
yeah,
having meaningful relationships in some format. They basically get some challenges, like relationship challenges, and they do it.
like answer a question about this person, like that.
No, I think like one of the things I read was basically two of them go on a date and they're doing good, and then they're given the opportunity to spend the night together, and if they don't do anything, then they go in the positive.